and let us move to subject. Today, what we are going to work on, we are going to work on getting values from radio buttons and checkboxes. Getting values from radio buttons and checkboxes. Now, I wanted to check whether the person is a male or female, married or unmarried. Like that, I wanted to detect it. We have worked on that also earlier, creating the radio buttons. But I wanted to get its value and implement the logic. That we will try to do. Let us close it. Let me open the previous one. I will type NPM. Now, first name is there, last name is there. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a gender. I wanted to create gender. Male, female, radio buttons. I have to create. Then I wanted to create a marital status. Single, married. Now, depending upon the selection, I wanted to display here. If male is selected, I wanted to say Mr. Sachin Tendulkar got 60%, 70%. If female, Miss. If a female married, Mrs. So user will select it depending upon his selection. I wanted to build logic and display that I wanted to write. So let us see if the work is running. This is what first name, last name, email is showing perfectly fine. Now I wanted to create the gender is one, marital status, and I wanted to try languages known as checkboxes. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll come here and I'll create the fields. Here I am creating here. I'll select gender. We should show gender there. Gender it is showing. I haven't created any inputs. So what I will do, I want to create the input, and I'll be specifying it as type radio. Radio. After input, I wanted to show one more label, and male. Male, I'll show. Same way, I'll show one more. Female. I have given it. In the same way, I wanted to show married and unmarried also. gender male is showing, female is showing. Now at the moment both are selectable. I don't want it to make it both are selectable. So what I'll do, I'll use name. Name is equal to gender. I'll give the same name. I'll give it for the second input also. So only one it allows to select. Now if once it is rendered, now any one is selectable. But now what I want on click of the label, I want that to be selectable. Now if I click on female, it is not selecting. So how do I do that? HTML. So I'll be giving ID. For input ID, I'm giving ID. Radio male. This I'll give it here. Radio male. Here, I think I'm doing wrong thing actually. We don't need this. For this radio male I have given. Here I have to give HTML equal to radio male. The same way here I am giving ID. We have worked this earlier, remember? Radio female. Here I will give HTML for radio. Now if I click on this, it should work. Working or not? So working. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to store it into a variable. If male is selected, I wanted to store it to a variable male. If female is selected, I wanted to store it to female. Why I wanted to store? I wanted to compare. If it is male, show Mr. If it is female, show Miss or Mrs. That I wanted. So that's why I wanted to store it. So what I'll do, I'll be creating a variable. I'll be creating a variable here. I'll say let gender is equal to empty. I'm giving either empty I can give or directly female or female I can. Right now I am giving empty. Now whenever user selects male, I wanted to store male in this. Whenever user selects female, I wanted to store female in this. So what I will do, we are coming to radio button. We are coming to radio button on input is there. So here I'll say on change. Input on change, I am writing it. Now how to get its value, selected or not selected? You have to give a ref to that. So what I'll do, I'll say ref is equal to radio email ref. These refs are not created yet. I wanted to create here radio mail ref. Then I'll use it here for refs. Let radio male ref equal to female. Then radio male ref, radio female ref. And whenever you change this. Radio female and radio male. First male is this, I am writing for this. Radio male on change equal to. Whenever user selects this function on change event will be called. Then I'll say console dot log radio mail ref dot current dot value and radio mail ref dot current dot value. So let us see what happens. Now I'm saying right here. I'm selecting this. What are we getting? On. On we are getting. That means mail radio button is on. Yes, sir. Now what I will do, I am doing the same thing for email also. Here, email radio button. Email radio button. Now here I will say console.log. This is for email. This is for email. I can get a message whether it is for male or female. It's saying on or off. Now see, I am selecting this. I am selecting this female on. I am selecting this. You can have copy paste for the male it should be. Female on, male on. Understanding? Sir, now we can get on, whichever is on. We can get something called dot check also is there. So let me check it. Check. Let us see. Dot check, it is not coming. It is dot value only. It is saying on basically. Understanding what I am doing? Now, if this value is on, I want it to show male into that variable. If this value is off, I want it to show female. Alright, even there it will automatically select it. Now I'll write condition here like if this one radio mail ref dot current dot value is equal to on. If it is on, that means male is selected. Then I'll say gender is equal to male. Understanding? If female is on, gender will be female. Understanding what we are doing? Clear? True or false, there is a property that there also we can get it. I think dot check, but it's not coming. checked. I think I have given checked. Not checked also we can use. Anything is fine. Then you have to compare with true or false. Now here, anything is fine. But will give true or false. True or false. Now if you wanted to use checked, you have to change the logic to checked to true. It's up to you whether you wanted to play with Boolean or you wanted to play with anything is fine. So here, but now we are storing gender male or female, and whenever you click on the submit button, you are clicking on submit button right at the end. Whenever we clicking on submit button, first name, last name, 10th result, we are saying now I wanted to generate the salutation, Mr. or Miss. Now what I will do here, I'll say let the salutation is equal to, I can use ternary operator or I can use if else also. Now I am just giving empty string for now. I'll say if gender, because we have created at the top, can be accessible in any function. Gender equal to male, then salutation should be Mr. Salutation Mr. Else salutation Miss. For now I am giving. Okay. Now this salutation I will be using it here. Here dollar salutation. Mr. or Miss depending upon the value of this gender variable. Okay. Now let us try this. Now I am typing Sachin Tendulkar, Sachin at gmail.com, and I am selecting mail. Say 90, 90, 90, 90. Hit submit. Says Mr. Sachin Tendulkar is passed and got 540 out of 600. Now if I select female, for example, it should show Miss. If I select male here, it should show Mr. Working fine. But this is the thing, we cannot judge now for women. If it is married, Mrs. Not married, Miss. Now, getting the gender marital status is also important. Got a point? Now, I'll be creating one more radio button setup. I have already created for gender. I'll just copy paste it and change it. I'll copy this. paste it. And here I will change it to marital status. Marital status. Now how many radio buttons we want? Again two. One is single or married, anything. Single and there is married. Now it will be showing accordingly. Single, married should be shown. Single and married. Now, if male single, Mr. If a female single, Miss. Female married, Mrs. That logic I wanted to implement it. Now let us see. Now, why these things are changing? If I click here, so I'll be changing the IDs basically. Marital status, I'll give ID radio single. Radio single and type MS. MS means marital status. And here radio single. I'll also change to radio single. Then radio married. And here label to radio. And I'll change this to MS. MS means marital status. But I haven't created the refs for these two things yet. Singular, married, and now what I do, I go top. I'll be creating refs. Radio male, female is there. Radio, single ref, married ref. I'll be using these things. I'm coming here. And marital status, your ref, I'll give it as radio, single. And here also, radio, single ref, radio, single ref. And also radio, single ref. If radio single is true, then you have to say marital status to single. Marital status to single. I haven't created that variable yet. So I wanted to create this. 79. Let marital status. I'm giving empty for now. Giving empty for now. Marital status single I am giving it. Then user is selected married and say radio married. Understanding what I am doing? Let us file say marital status married. So that means what actually is happening? If I select any one of these two, on change we are detecting that, storing male or female into gender variable. On change of these two, we are detecting that and storing single or married in marital status variable. And on click of the submit button, we are accessing those values. Here, if gender male, salutation Mr. Yes, salutation Miss. But here again, what I wanted to do, I wanted to check married or single. If marital status equal to single, then value will be yes. Else value will be then I'll come here and I will refresh it and try. Now I'll type Tania Mirza SM at gmail.com, gender female, marital status married, then 19, it should show Mrs. Sania Mirza is passed and got 540 out. For example, I'll say single. It should show this. Understood how to get the values through ref. Through JSXML, we are creating it. Through ref, we are giving the name, we are accessing its values, and through if else if, through operators, we are comparing it. Through if else if, we are storing the value based on that we build the log. Now this is fine. Gender, male and female, we are getting through radio buttons. If it is 5 radio buttons also, we can do. Right. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to store, I wanted to check the values, I wanted to get the values from checkboxes. I want to get the values from checkboxes. So how do I do that? Now I'll be creating one more field here called languages. What I will do, I'll be creating. So language is known. Okay, here I'll say languages. Now I wanted to show checkboxes. Checkboxes also again input only. Input, right? Then how many I want? Around 3, 4, 5 for example. Checkboxes, I can see it here. All the 5 we should get it. All the 5 checkboxes we are getting it. But I wanted to add some labels also to this label. Say English. Then Hindi. Then English, Telugu, English, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil. Now, if I click on it, this is not checking. Why? We have to give IDs and we have to give HTML for. that we have to do it. So I am giving ID ID English CB means checkbox. And the same idea I'll use it here. CML and here ID equal to Hindi CB. Here I will use CML for equal to Hindi. And here ID equal to checkbox. CML for is equal to CB. CB means RB means now if I click on those labels, those should be checked or unchecked. Working, 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 working. Now what I wanted to do, if I click on the submit button, what are the languages a student knows I wanted to display. Right? Now how do we store multiple values? Imagine he has selected all. Imagine I selected all. That means Telugu knows, Hindi knows, science, Telugu, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, English. All the 5 languages it knows. How do we handle it? What I will do? Now for gender, we have only one value we have stored in gender variable. Marital status only one value we have stored. But here multiple values, right? What can be used? We have something called object. We have worked on object, right? Multiple values can be used in that, right? I'll say let languages known equal to radio button English. True or false? I'll say false, for example. Come on. Hindi, false. Come on. Telugu, false. Come on. English, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, false. Tamil. I'm giving false dummy values. And if user knows that language, we'll make it true. So whichever is true, that means he knows that. Whichever is false, he doesn't know that. That is how we store it. So now I am going to write on change. For each and everything, we have to write English CP. Here I'm writing on change. and change. Understanding what I am doing? And change. If I think we have to create refs also, no? To get its value, we have to create refs also. We have to create refs for those boxes. We have created IDs, but not refs. So I'll be creating refs here. Let check English. Checkbox for English reference. Use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. English, Telugu, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada. I created these references and I have to assign these references there. Here, ref is equal to check English ref. Then Hindi. Yeah. Hindi. Then Telugu. Then I will create the correct names. I given these names. Kannada full name we have given. We will check there. Namings are very important. PAM, KAN, PEL, HND, and that is Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, and I'll say TEL, AAN, PAM. We are using these references there. Then on change we have to write it. Dot check is true, then store it there. So I'll say English here on change. What I will write? If check English ref dot current dot check. Here also you can use check equal to true. Then languages known dot eng is equal to true. I think else. Else. Understanding? Actually, no need to write this much also. Anyway, this is going to return true or false. It's going to return true or false. So I can directly write like this. Languages known dot eng is equal to dot check. If it is checked, it returns true. It will be storing true. If it is false, it returns false. Directly false. No need of this if else also actually. Understand? Now, checked is going to return either true or false, right? If this returning true, we are storing true. If this is returning false, we are storing false. Likewise, I am going to write it for remaining for the Hindi language on that. Check that. Telugu. Kannada. Understanding what I'm doing? Now on click of the submit button, we can get whether he knows or not, depending upon his selection. Now let us try, let us see. At the end I'll say console.log languages. It is not different. What is the language? Language name. NOW? No, yes, sir. Let us go here and languages. This is just true or false negatives. Let us see first. Languages. Let us see. We have done the coding changes, but we haven't checked it. If it works fine, if it didn't work, correction. Now, okay, something I'm taking, something I'm taking, something. Then English, Tamil. So I have to fill. I filled everything, and I'll say check now. And so click on submit. English true, Hindi false, Telugu false, Kannada false, Tamil false. I think something is wrong. We have selected English, okay, perfect. Hindi false, perfect. Telugu also it is showing false. That means something wrong we have done. Let me check it. I am just unchecking English. So what it should show now if I click on submit button? English also false. So English is working fine. Now let us try Hindi. Hindi I have checked it, it should show true. Hindi true. So Hindi is also working fine. Now I will select the Telugu. Telugu is showing false, but it is actually true. Okay, Telugu I have to correct it. Then let me check Kannada. Kannada also not coming. Then let me check Tamil. Tamil also not coming. So English and Hindi is working fine. Telugu, Kannada, Tamil not working. So we have to check something is wrong on change. On change languages knows. Okay. Languages knows dot Hindi. Okay. Languages knows dot TEL. We have created Telugu or TEL only there. Check Telugu. Now, check Telugu reference we have given it. Languages knows. Telugu we have given. Kannada we have given. Tamil we have given. Now I'll change this to TEL. PAN. Everywhere we have to use either PAM or PAML. Everywhere you have to use the same. Now in few places we have used full, in few places we have used half. That's why I have made it half everywhere. Now let us see if it should work out. Now I am just refreshing it. Okay. English. I already checked earlier also true. Okay. Then Hindi. English and Hindi both should be true. Perfect. And the Telugu also should be true. Telugu also should be perfect. Kannada I am selecting. Kannada also should be true. Perfect. Tamil also should be true. This is how we get the values from checkboxes. Based on this, you can do so many things. Actually, I can display it here also. You should know few more things actually. We have certain string concatenations in future. Then you can understand. Right now, our focus is on we will be able to create the radio buttons, checkboxes, be able to give IDs and HTML first for that, and create refs for that, get its values, and based on that, you implement the logic. Got the point? Clear? Now, what you can do? 5 languages are there. You can create what you say 5 labels here. Languages known, 5 labels. If Telugu is true, make that visible. If Telugu is false, make that invisible. Like that can be the languages known. It can be shown like this. Languages known. English will be there. Telugu will be there. Hindi, science, sorry, Kannada, Tamil. Now, languages known dot English is true. Make this visible, otherwise hidden. If dot Telugu is true, make this visible, otherwise hidden. Like that you can do it. Either hidden or display none. Whichever you want, you can do it. Got a point? You can also do like this. Now here, married, we are selecting it, or single we are selecting it. Now your partner name. If single, partner name should not be displayed. If it is married, partner name should be displayed. Can be done or not? Dot display dot none we have. Dot display is equal to none we have worked, right? Something can be. Understanding what I'm saying? That I want you to try. Today we have worked on mainly how to get the values from checkboxes and compare it and implement the logic you want. Now I am just using checkboxes actually here, but we can use drop downs also. If it is drop down this, you do this. If drop down this, you do this. I mean, we are doing it in pulse. Now you might have not observed it. Now see here. What is showing here? How many fields is it showing? 3 fields only it is showing. So now see here. Depending upon what I select, I am selecting technical task theory. What is happening? Theory for interview preparation is showing. Depending upon what I select, it is showing. Their radio buttons here, select. That's it. Now if I select practice, practical task is showing. If I select practice resume is showing. If I select original resume is showing. Now if I select practice and theory both, practical task is also showing, theory is also showing. Same thing equals, we are making display none. Display block or display none, we are implementing. Equals on. But there it is radio button, here it is select. That's the difference. Here also on change only. If on change, if the value is theory and practice, you display both. If it is only theory, only practice. Now you can implement this actually. Now see here, I have selected a technical task, practice and theory. I am clicking on assign task. Now a bit more I have done it. Now see, it is showing it in red color that we haven't filled it. Whichever the fields are not filled, I am showing it in red color saying this is required, this is not required. Color changes can be done. Now if you work a bit, you can create these things. But I have put more makeup to it, looking nice, nice fonts and all those things. That too I haven't done lots of time on this. There is something called Bootstrap. What? Bootstrap. Ready to use. Everything is ready to use. If you use Bootstrap, everything will be easy. But I'll be covering that Bootstrap at a later point of time. I wanted to create first. Once you learn it, then I'll show you ready to use. You are already created, but let us wait for a few months. Understood how to get values from checkboxes and radio buttons. Now, based on this, I want you to build the task. What do you do? The same thing, you add marital status, you add gender, you add languages now, and you also add your partner. Partner means if it is married, the user is married, then spouse name, partner name. If it is single, should not be shown. Can be done or not. You just put it in a div. For that you give some ref. Then ref dot current dot style dot display none means gone. Display block means that you have to do it based on the user selection, married or single. Can be done or not? Understood what I'm saying? See, here I'll show you. Now single task type, I am selecting UI and code. Now see, upload build store extra option is showing, as observed it. But if I select no UI, see that is gone. Understand? So UI and code it is showing, no UI is not showing. Display none block only. Now I am selecting this UI and code. Now I am selecting and right clicking this, inspect. See, display block is there. Yes or no? Display block is there. But now I will change this to no UI. Change it to display none. Gone. We are doing that through coding only. We are changing in coding, HTML also it is generating automatically. That is how you have to do it. Understanding marital status single means no partner name should be shown. If married means partner name should be shown. That's extra. I want it. Okay. Now we are creating the form, collecting the values, validating, then generating the result, but we are not sending it to the server yet. We wanted to send it to the server. Now see here, if I click on pulse.brprotect.com, I am clicking on create an account. What is this? Form only. Can't you create something like this? You can create it, but this form is designed in such a way that once you fill everything, you click on submit button, it passes to the server. Without submitting, if you click it, see, this is required validations. Either validations you can write it, but ready to use are also there. But I recommend you to write it. You learn something. If you start learning, if you start using ready to use everything, you cannot learn the depth of something. So I want you to create it. What is this they have created here? Simple text and they are giving it in red color and a display. We have tried something this also. On focus we are displaying the instructions. Here on error we are displaying. If not filled we are displaying. Got my point? Understood the task which I wanted to try. Let me create task. And select also the same thing. I think we have already worked with select, right? Dot value, that's it. You'll be getting the select value. Let me take attendance.